actress, comedian Shondalia White. We're going to be in the kitchen today, and I'm joined by my good friend, Chef Vianai Austin, and this is your I Can't Eat Shit Quick Tip.
It's a quick tip.
Today we'll be talking about plating, and I am not great at plating. Are you great at plating?
On a good day.
It's something that I'm horrible at, and I wanted to bring my good friend, Chef Vianai, over because she's a chef, and she plates every single day. So I'm like, girl, I'm going to need a little bit of help with this. So come over, help me out, and teach me how to plate. But before we get into showing you any kind of footage or anything like that, I'm going to ask a few questions about plating. So we'll know for the new year, hey, this is how you plate. We're going to have some good plating this year.
Okay.
So the first thing is, what are some of the basic rules to keep in mind when you're plating?
So just basic things to remember is just understanding portion sizing, garnishing, balancing out your sides, and kind of just like the space that you have on your plate and using it properly.
Okay, awesome. And when you say portion sizing, do you mean like how much somebody eat? Or, you know what I mean? Because some people eat a lot.
Yes, they do.
Is it how they eat? Or do you mean in terms of like the portion on the plate so it's not overpowering the plate?
It's more of a presentation type of thing.
Gotcha.
So it's up to you. Yes, if you want more, you can always go back for a second. But initially, if you are presenting a plate to somebody, you want to make sure everything on the plate is evened out.
That's good. I don't think I do that all the time.
A lot of people don't.
It's just like, I'm hungry.
It's totally fine.
It's good, but it don't look good.
Yeah.
Are there any specific appliances we should always have in order to plate well? We already know I need a chef's knife. That's what I need.
Yes, you do.
I do. It's bad.
A nice silky one, okay? Recommended. Japanese knives are amazing to be, they're a little bit more expensive, but the blade is smooth like butter.
Where would you get something like that from?
Internet.
Really? Okay, good.
I'll send you a link for sure.
Okay, good. Because once I figure out my good knife, y'all, I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to let you know. We ain't going to keep it to you. I'm going to let you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And what other things? Are there like white plates, black plates, small plates, large plates?
Plates isn't really a big thing. I think it depends on, it's really just preference. A lot of things are going to be preference, but I would say basically spoons is a big thing to have. It just helps you with control over everything that you're actually putting on your plate. Tongs, your knife, you said, a good cutting board is good. What else? If you want to get like super exotic, then you can have like a torch and like other fun things.
I do have a torch.
Yeah, because you can always just crisp things up at the top. But yeah, I would say spoons are your best friend though. I will reiterate that multiple times. Spoons are your best friend in the kitchen. They just help you out a lot with not having to mixed flavors too much. You can use different ones and use them for tasting. It's super, super easy and helpful.
Okay, that's great. What's the difference between plating a main dish versus a side dish?
So it all depends on the actual dish itself, but you want to make sure that you keep the main part of the dish as the focal point. So like a protein, or if it's pasta, it kind of be by itself. And then the sides you want to think of just as complements, like they just add to the plate. So they're probably going to be a little bit smaller, but it just depends on your plate and what you're actually making.
And when is wiping important? Because, you know, I know when I go to a restaurant, I see people wiping around the sides and, you know, making sure it looks all good. Us day-to-day people, should we wipe? Or is that important? Or
if you're an everyday cook, wiping's not that important, to be honest. It really just depends on you and how OCD you are about having very super white and clean plates. But it's not necessary. It's really more of a restaurant thing, a prep thing, an actual catering thing, to just, you know, be proud of your dish and have it look super nice and clean.
What are some of the most difficult things to plate?
Man, lately it's been soups because it's a liquid.
Is it just because it gets everywhere?
Yes, and if it's a more runnier soup, like a brothy soup, you want to make sure you have the right plating, a very shallow plate or a bowl to make sure it's fine. And then it's really about what else you're adding to your soup. So
what else would be, for example, because soup is like, I wouldn't think about that as being difficult to plate. So what about it? So it's a liquid soup. I make a lot of liquid soup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Soup is liquid.
Soup is liquid.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's my favorite cup of liquid, besides water.
But brothy is what I mean. Like the broth. Or...
It depends on the texture, the liquid, the way it runs. But normally if it's a thicker soup, like if you think of like cauliflower, tomato soup, that might have a little bit more like stability in it. So if you want to add things to it, like croutons or garnishes, it's just be so much easier.
And how will the plating be affected by that?
It's really just depending on the type of plate you actually use. Obviously, nobody's gonna put their soup on a real plate. That would just be kind of weird. But you can put it in a bowl, and it just helps you out. Like, so, depending on if you want to serve it for camera, which is very different than serving at a restaurant. It depends on.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends, because if you're on camera, you want to pick a more shallow plate so you can actually see what's in the bowl.
Shallow plate.
Shallow plate.
What is a shallow plate?
Because
I don't know what a shallow plate is.
If a plate has walls, like if you think of a bowl, right? Mm-hmm. It has high walls.
Yes.
Right? Shallow plates are just the same thing, a bowl, but just tinier walls. So it's flat like a plate, but has walls enough to hold.
Oh, it kind of comes up a little bit.
So it kind of comes. I'm like trying to use my hands as a display.
Oh.
So it goes up like this.
So almost
but
like
it's
those,
shallow.
It's like this. They're like this high.
They're about that high. But you think of a bowl as like this high. Oh. A shallow plate's about this high. So the walls, it still has walls, but it's flat like a plate.
Okay,
so
see,
that's
this is the stuff
sometimes.
we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a shallow plate.
Yes.
Can be better than a bowl.
For camera.
For a camera to
so you can see it. It's for the audience to see it. Because if you think of a bowl, how high it is, and you turn it, people might not be able to see it. But if you keep it more shallow, or even if it's still a bowl, but just a shallow bowl, it can still work the same way.
Wow.
So picking plates can be very tricky for camera.
I never knew. I just thought about whenever I've seen people use those shallow plates. Mm-hmm. I just call it a plate. Yeah. I didn't know it was a shallow plate. I'm just like the plate with the lid. Like,
yep.
Basically,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's because it almost is like a bowl.
Yeah.
But that's why they use it for soups or something. But it's just so you can see it. Mm-hmm. So so that's how you do it for camera. Mm-hmm. For restaurant, they can use either or.
A regular bowl is fine. It's meant to be beautiful, like homey, and just here you go. Here's a bowl of this, a broth and noodles. It's like it works out.
So what would you do for something that is for home?
For home. Bowl. Just a regular bowl.
Okay.
I bowl everything at home. Okay. I am a sucker for bowls. I don't even use the plates, and I have so many of them. I use the same bowl for every meal I have. I'm not ashamed of it at all.
She has one bowl at
I have
home.
one bowl.
You're like a bachelor. The one bowl, the one spoon, the one. Maybe
the one
they'll
pair
have two.
Of tongs,
right.
The one knife.
It's one. They might have two.
I'm
maybe.
a minimalist at home secretly. Maybe. Like a fake one.
What are the 3 main styles of plating?
Okay, so the 3 main styles is how I like to put it for easy enough for people to understand is there's a classic style, which is what you think of like French cooking, very simple, minimalist, low on garnishes, just keep it clean. How we'll see in a second.
Yes.
We'll see in a second.
Yes.
We'll see in a second how we play like pasta served very minimal and very clean, and that's more of like classic. And then there's contemporary, which has to do with being very artistic and splatting sauces across a plate, making it look like an art piece, like somebody made it out of acrylic paint.
Yeah, like, where you go into like those fancy restaurants.
Yeah.
And
like Michelin star level dining.
They splat.
Table experiences, and you're like, wow, this is so pretty, but there's only one piece of meat on my plate.
Yeah, you're starving
that
after.
Is more of like
but we like it.
We like it, but it's not enough.
It's just not enough. We're going to have to go back to another restaurant and eat again.
Exactly. I got to go to McDonald's after.
Right. If I could still do McDonald's.
I can't.
Those days are over, y'all. I can't eat shit.
I can't eat shit either. Which leads us to our last one, which is more of like a rustic style, I like to call it, because it just reminds me of like home meals, very comforting. The plate isn't like beautiful and perfect. It's just everything's on there that's supposed to be on there. Like you have a protein, your starches, your veggies, whatever else you need, and it's just It just makes you feel good.
Classic.
I call those like ratatouille moments. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I love it.
And you bite it and it takes you back in time to where you're eating at your parents' house.
Yeah.
That's like rustic style eating of what I think of.
Oh, that's nice.
Ratatouille moments.
You know how people sometimes, like I found sometimes using a measuring cup or to plate, you know, to just to get is that like a portion thing? Just so you can get the look of it and get the like, say for example, it's some rice and you're trying to put it down and make it, that's contemporary.
Like it can be considered temporary or classic.
It could be classic.
Yeah, some definitely interchange within each other, all depending on what type of style of chef or cook you are. And, you know, a lot of people don't think like you're supposed to cook one way all the time. It's a lot of preference. I'm telling you, it is a lot of preference and how you just want to present yourself in your style. So if you want to dome that rice, you go ahead and dome that rice and throw some chicken on it.
I love that. Yeah. I love it. What about like catering style stuff? Like for example, and I say catering because say you cannot afford a caterer. And you're doing an event at home or something along those lines. Yeah. And you're just like, okay, one of the things I like to do is use those. They're like little towers where it's like the plate and then it rises up. It's another plate.
The shelf kind of
it's like a shelf.
So it really all depends on what you're using. Like if you have fruit or crackers and cheeses, it's fine to stack because you're feeding a party. So you gotta like, okay, let me put a lot of things on there. And it's okay to do things in full portion. Plating is not really as important in catering. The presentation is obviously always important in what is actually in the square pan, or like we call them hotel pans. Was actually in the full length of it, but by the time you actually are like serving and pick it up, people are kind of just eating. Like if it's catering style at least, but if it's say we're at a wedding and people were like, oh, here's a plate, that plating is more important and it's just a whole different take. Then it needs to be a little bit more classy. Yeah, we're gonna stay at home. At home,
you throwing yourself a little shindig. You got your friends coming over for a brunch or something like that.
Then it's okay to stack it, put more in there because you know people start having 5 mimosas and they get hungry.
Yeah, they get hungry.
They just want to make sure there's extra food.
And maybe that's a good area to have like the spoons she was talking about. Like the spoons, so for the portions or also in regards to the like maybe the tongs as well.
Having good utensils just to pick up anything is very helpful. That's where the spoons come in because you can just grab it quick, put it on your plate and just like keep moving. And then the tongs obviously for like certain things, that's easier for that. But it's all just, you know, preference based on those.
The ones that I like to use to keep it very minimal and simple is the classic style, which is like the French cooking style, and it being very minimal, clean, and kind of to the point, very similar to what this zucchini pasta looks like. And then there's contemporary, which is, we didn't really do contemporary, but could be very much work towards it. It's just making a very artsy plate. Like
we put a little splatter of sauce or something on it.
Yeah, if we put some A1 sauce or some barbecue sauce and just made it go poof and splatter, it's gonna look like a very artistic plate. Which is what a lot of people do. They kind of just play with sauces and play with color and just want to make a nice piece of art. And then there's more of like rustic plating, which has to do with home style plating of just, you know, it's like you're eating with your family. You kind of just put a protein with 2 sides and make it look like nice, and that's it.
And are there any other definite, like you live by it, if you're plating, keep this in mind, any other things that you can think of that you're like, oh, you have to keep this in mind when you're plating?
I think oh man, that's tough because I'm a diet person, so for me it's really just not overeating. So it's like making sure I have enough protein, making sure I have kind of an extra amount of vegetables because I need to have more vegetables in my intake. But just making sure your plate is balanced. Don't overeat a lot. Like, it's not good for you, actually. Yeah. Don't overeat and don't eat late. That's one thing I keep in mind when it also comes to plating is like, oh, am I eating late? Oh, I should not eat that much. It's a serious thing when you can't eat shit.
Yes,
when you can't eat shit, do not eat late.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for all your tips. And I know that I'll be using a lot of this throughout this year. So you might be seeing it, and there's another way to do that throughout this year. So let me know if you check this out and you're like, oh, I see you, Shondalia. Okay. I see you using those tips that Chef Vianai taught you. Okay. Yes, honey. So thank you. I really appreciate you coming through. And that has been your quick tip. Question number 1. What is my favorite summertime food? A, barbecue. B, strawberries. C, avocados. D, all the above.
I'm going to say D, all of the above.
You are correct! It's all of those. How did you know? You're like, this sounds like everything she would eat.
Basically, I was like, she black. She like barbecue in the summertime. Strawberries always taste nice. If you live in LA, you eat avocado all the time.
Everybody eat avocado?
Literally, that was so
That is so true. All the reasons, too. All the reasons. Check out full episodes of I Can't Eat Shit podcast wherever you stream your podcast. You can also check me out on YouTube at Shondalia White, I Can't Eat Shit podcast. I have an RSS feed if you just want to listen, or a watch list if you want to watch me. If you watch me, there's bonus material. There's another way to do that. My full cooking segment where I teach you how to modify recipes based on my restrictions. They're oh so good, so make sure you check them out. I also have a new segment called Shondalia's Inside Scoop, which is a game show segment where we figure out how much you know about your girl and how much my guests know about their girl. You can check that out as well. You can also check me out on Instagram at I Can't Eat Shit Podcast or at Shondalia White. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. I Can't Eat Shit.
It's a quick tip.
I Can't Eat Shit podcast is not a replacement for a medical professional. If you need help, seek out a trained medical professional, nutritionist, or therapist to help you with your specific needs.